Welcome to the Fight Night Daily Podcast, the post-fight review of Conor Benn's victory over Chris Eubank Jr. in their rematch. We're in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. As you can see behind us, the construction workers are de-rigging the event, moving it back into a football stadium. I'm Adam Cattrall, pleasure to be with you. Spencer Oliver's here, Gareth Davies, and the White Rhino, Mr. Dave Allen. Spencer, I'll come to you first and foremost. What do you make of it?
Listen, Conor had to deal with a lot of emotional pressure going into that fight, so you can take nothing away from his performance. He come out victorious, but let's be totally honest about this one. We looked at a fading, ageing Chris Eubank Jr. there, a guy that was a shell of his former self. You know, again, not taking anything away from Conor's performance, but Chris, you know, has clearly come to the end of the road. He looked like a shot fighter there tonight, which is quite sad to see, if I'm honest.
Yeah, listen, I think that's going to dominate the majority of the podcast, right? Talking about the performance of Eubank Jr. because it's poles apart from what we saw in April. But let's start on the positive. Conor Benn. He was poles apart. The guy that we saw in April, aggressive, front foot, all action, balls to the wall, if you will, throwing the kitchen sink at it, and it wasn't enough. He had to change a game plan. He had to fight a more disciplined fight tonight. And what was in front of him, he can only beat that, can't he? And tonight I thought the jab, the movement, the discipline, sticking to the game plan, I thought was on top.
Let's be brutally honest, we were all wrong. And the reason why we were all wrong was because Conor Benn had the game plan and Chris Eubank didn't have the body, the mind, the spirits, the timing anymore to get the job done. But I agree with you. What we mustn't do is take credit away from Conor Benn. No. It's an amazing victory. I was up there with the whole family celebrating. That was a genuinely large assembly of people celebrating 3 years of grief that the Benn family have been through.
Grief's a strong word.
No, with the drug
Grief's
testing.
a strong word, come on.
With the drug testing. He was suicidal at one point, remember? He wanted to end his life because he felt so down over it. Whatever the reasons you have against him, he's come back in an extraordinary way. It's still a great tale. Whether you disagree with it or not, whether you think he should have been banned from the sport, it's still an amazing story.
I don't think anybody was against him. People were against the system and the broken system that was navigated over that 2.5-year period. Anyway, as we said, we're trying to keep this on a positive
I think it is
slant.
positive.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, his performance tonight, he grew once again as
Absolutely
a fighter.
right.
He grew in April, he grew again today. I think the narrative that we need to take from it is that he isn't a 160, with all due respect. He's not a 160-pound fighter. If you could just stick that microphone in Dave's face, he's not a 160-pound fighter, is Conor, is he? And therefore, opportunities you would think going forward are going to be in lower weight divisions.
These are my honest thoughts, right? I think Conor Benn's sound, like I know him quite well. Eubank shot to bits, done, finished. Terrible. He was awful. He was terrible. I'm not a great fighter, but he was terrible by his standards. He was awful. He was terrible. He was shot to bits. His balance is gone. Every time he got hit in the head, he looked startled and looked like he didn't want to be there. His jab, he was snatching at it. He didn't want to get it. Was Conor Benn any better than the first time? We don't even know, really. I can't take anything away from it. Conor Benn come out. He had a bit.
He was
of
more
success.
disciplined, weren't he? He was more disciplined.
But it's easy to be disciplined with a. I'm disciplined on the bag. I go in there and I fall to bits. Someone starts hitting me back. I can't. Conor Benn, take nothing away from him. He got the job done. Well done. Fair play. I can't take anything away from it. He lost to a faded Eubank, and then he just beat a shot to bits one. That don't make that. He's not 147. He's not 147 champion elect on the back of that.
No,
Can he win a world title at 147 now, though?
Maybe, but the champions aren't. They're not A-level champions. They're like the B-level champions. Barrios, Crocker, they're very good fighters, but they're not great fighters. But I'm still not sure he'll beat him. I don't think Conor Benn's a fantastic boxer. Nigel Benn, 1990, Nigel Benn would have flattened Chris Eubank Jr. in one round tonight. That's the honest truth.
Yeah, again, but it's unfair, isn't it, to compare both of them lads to the previous.
It's not unfair on Eddie Hearn saying this man's going to go to 147, smash everyone to bits.
No, he's not.
He's not that good.
No, but that's Eddie Hearn's job, isn't it, as the salesman, as the promoter.
I'm just telling things how I see it.
That's why you're here.
There's no point in me standing here and saying it was amazing. It weren't. It was.
But he's got the strength and the tenacity and the belief to be a world champion at 147.
I sold 8,500 tickets at Sheffield, not because I'm a great fighter, because people like me. They've done 70,000 in here tonight because of the story with the dads.
Yeah.
Amazing. I for it, met loads of money. What we saw in there tonight weren't world-class boxing.
No.
Weren't even close. Not even close. Wasn't even close. Not close. And they're saying he's 147 elect champion. Not even close to being world title.
No, I think we agree with that.
Poor.
But
both of them weren't great. Eubank was terrible. Benn didn't do anything amazing. He just beat a shell of an old man up.
No, but my point was, he's definitely not a 160.
I'm tired and I'm cold, so I'm sorry.
No, but he's definitely not a 160, and therefore he has to go back down for the better opportunities.
Yeah, 147.
Right.
Can he do 147?
That's
He's
the
not
big question.
boxing Ortiz or Boots Ennis, is he?
No, definitely not at 154.
That's the big question, is like whether he can drop down to 147, maintain that strength, you know, keep that discipline, you know, to compete with the guys, because that is the division where, if he's going to ever win a world title, would be at 147, because you've got the likes of Crocker, who's very beatable at that level, and you've got the likes of Mario Barrios, who's another very beatable fighter. But if you go into 154, which is where I think Conor will land, that's going to be very tough, because that's a hard task, man, going up through the weights and coming back down.
Do you think he'll struggle to go down to 147 now then? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking he can't do 147.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's building your body up and putting that muscle mass on, because he's grown into the weight really well. And to bring your body back down and drop all that muscle mass, like that, trust me on that one, it takes away your punch resistance, your strength, all of that stuff. It's going to be a hard job for Conor to come back down.
Do you expect to see Chris Eubank Jr. box again?
I don't expect Chris Eubank Jr. to box again, and if he does, the people around him, they want a serious word with, because, but like, when you see a fighter like Chris Eubank Jr., it's, you know, box. Do you know what it reminded me of? When James DeGale got beat by Chris Eubank Jr. all those years ago, and it was sad to watch, because he used to have those beautiful boxing skills, and he looked like he was walking on stilts. Well, guess what? Chris Eubank Jr. tonight looked like he was walking on stilts. When he was getting hit, you could see him getting shook to the soles of his boots. You remember when Chris Eubank Jr. boxed Jules Groves? Jules Groves hit like a sledgehammer, and Chris was soaking those shots up. That punch resistance is now gone. His boxing days are over. It should be finished.
I agree with that, and we saw it at the end. There was nothing left, and we had that finality about his career in that last round, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't think he should box again. You know, it's not. I hate saying things like he should never box again, but all the money he's had, you know what it comes down to for me? It's like the career he's had. They're probably going to remember tonight. That's human nature. They'll go, he got beat by Conor Benn, he got hammered, he got dropped, he was terrible. And that's human nature. So, and if it's continue, it ain't going to get any better from here. You're not going to get any better. That was a good hiding in the end, really. Yeah. It was a steady good hiding. It was a steady
shot out.
It was a slow, steady good hiding. Yeah. Conor Benn played nice with him, I thought.
And it's also very dangerous. Listen, we've got to put health over wealth. You know what I mean? Like, Chris Eubank Jr. has earned a hell of a lot of money. But what we saw in there tonight was a guy in survival mode from round 2, 3. You know, where we're going, oh, look, he just looks sluggish tonight. And all of a sudden, you're seeing the movement, and the legs are not even, the coordination's not even there. And then you see him just looking up, and he's thinking, come on, just get through the rounds. I want to just hear the final bell. And that was a moral victory for him tonight, to hear that final bell. And that is sad to see, because we don't like that. You know, me and Dave were saying that during the commentary. You're going, you know what, this is painful as a fighter.
It was very painful.
As a fighter to watch that, you go, nah, don't like that.
On the high note, co-main event, we had Jack Catterall and Echo Usman. I mean, for 5-6 rounds, Jack Catterall looked absolutely, truly sensational, and then Echo Usman put his foot down, tried to push the fight, changed the direction of it, but in the end, we saw Jack Catterall rise. Yeah,
Jack showed the character that he is. You know, he's a great fighter. Dave said that they'd seen him sparring in the ring. He can talk about that in a sec. But you know, I'm looking at the victory over Josh Taylor from Esserman and going, he's going to have momentum here. You know, he's going to have propelled him to another level. That takes a fighter to another level. But Jack Catterall showed that he is leagues above that. Like, yeah, he was controlling the fight really well, had that little wobble in the middle, but he showed what a great fighter he is by turning it around and getting the job done in sensational style. Esserman is a good fighter, and Catterall stamped his authority as one of the best in the division.
Yeah, referee messed up a little bit at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, look, can I just say an overarching thing? How amazing is it that we're here in mid-November, we're freezing our cotton socks off, he's grumpy, cold and tired, yeah?
He's worked hard.
He's worked all right, he's done what we all done. No, here's the thing. How healthy, how great is it in Britain? The best fans in the world, 60,000 people, whatever you say about the main event tonight that it didn't deliver, 60,000 people in the middle of winter coming out for a boxing match. We're the envy of the world here. Boxing's in a great place. It's a privilege to be here. It's great to be here. Those fans make it so possible. Thanks to Turkey Al Sheikh for putting it on. It's brilliant to be at these events. These events never happened in the winter before. We were never in an outdoor stadium halfway through November or December.
Now he's even colder. Look how much
Yeah.
he's pissed
Yeah,
off.
well, yeah, I'm keeping
Where
you.
are you going with this,
I'm
Gareth?
keeping you here. No, it's a celebration of what we're getting in British boxing. In spite of criticising the value or level of the fight tonight.
And
Yeah, Jack Catchwell were really good.
he was. He was, wasn't he? I'll tell you who else were good. 50 Cent.
Oh, mate.
Fiddy,
Oh,
Fiddy.
superb, mate. Brilliant.
Highlight of the night.
You know when you go like, what's Eubank going to do? Conor Benn's come out there and he's got the drum rolls going on, they've got Dangerous going on, the dad's there, and you're thinking, this is sensational. And he comes out with 50 Cent, you go, just when this guy can't raise it up another level, he does that. He's an ultimate showman, Chris Eubank Jr. It's a shame the performance he's done in the ring wasn't as good as the ring entrance because, you know, it was a sad end for me.
Close us up, Rhino, to add. Come on.
What's the question? What do you want me to say?
About Fiddy being here.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed 50 Cent. I thought it was a highlight of the night. I'm not really an excitable guy. When I saw him, I smiled a little bit.
There you go. Absolutely nailed it. Listen, congratulations as well to Ishmael Davis, new British and Commonwealth champion in his division. All in all, listen, it didn't live up to the first fight that we saw in April. There's lots of talking points to fall off the back of it, of which you'll be on talkSPORT's boxing YouTube channel throughout the course of the week. Make sure you tune into the Breakfast Show and to Simon and Jim on Monday for their take on this event at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll catch you next time.